Chris with Stories in Cardboard. Tonight I'm going to share with you my favorite football card that's in my collection and tell a little bit about why it's my favorite. But first I want to show a couple of other cards in my collection that are pretty high on my favorites list as well. Now I've shown these two cards before in my first video that I did, but I wanted to show them again to kind of get some context of how much I really like the card that I'm going to share with you tonight. So the first card we have is my 1888 N162 Goodwin Champions card of Harry Beecher. It's the first football card that was ever produced, and there's an estimated of 75 of these in existence. Now, I love this card, but it's not actually my favorite card in my collection. The second card that I'm going to show, and again, this is really high on my favorites list, and I did show this in the first video, is a 1955 Topps All-American Jim Thorpe card. Now, what I like about this card, besides the fact that it's Jim Thorpe, I really love the pose. It's just vintage Jim Thorpe. But what I really like about this card is the centering on it. Now, this one's not centered perfectly, but this is a very difficult card to find centered, and I think this is a pretty nice copy of that with pretty decent centering from this very popular classic football card from a very popular set from the 1950s. So with that, I'll share with you now what is actually my favorite football card in my collection. All right, so this is a 1952 Bowman Large Chuck Bednarik card. In 1952, Bowman made a small version and a larger version card to test and see what consumers like the best. Which do they like the best? Which were they going to buy? Now, the first thing I love about this card is I love the design of this set. You have the white pennant with the player's name inside, and for the rookies, they are shown with their college team name in addition to the player name inside the white pennant. The player picture itself, just a beautiful artistic drawing of this player. And I just love this photo with Concrete Charlie's red hair and that deep, rich green jersey that he's wearing. And in the background, you have Shibe Park, or what was once called Connie Mack Stadium before that. And I think they moved to Franklin Field and started playing in Franklin Field in 1958. Also underneath the white pennant, you have the team logo. And in this case, it's a blue eagle carrying a football. The Eagles would use that blue eagle logo until 1955, and then they switched to the green one. Now, with all that being said, the thing I really like about this card is a rarity in that you almost never find this card centered. It is almost impossible to find this card with nice centering, and this one I think just has really, really nice centering. But in fact, every short print in this set is almost impossible to find centered. Now, the short prints are cards that are divisible by 9, and also the card that is directly after that card. So you have cards numbers 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and so forth that are short prints. And then also cards 10, 19, 28, 37, and so forth that are also short prints. Now, the cards that are divisible by 9 are almost always, the right border is almost always larger than the left. And the cards that are divisible by 9, not divisible by 9, but right after, so the divisible by 9 plus 1. So in this case, like this card number 10, the centering, you almost always see the larger side on the left side and the smaller side, the left border being smaller. Now you might be asking, why is that? Why all the centering problems? And why is it only on the short print cards? Well, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about that in a follow-up video that I'm going to do. But first, my next video that I'm planning on doing, I'm going to do a shout-out video, and I'm going to show some cards that I think kind of relate to the channels that I'm going to do the shout-outs for, kind of like I did in the first shout-out video that I did. And then after that, I'm going to do a video where we talk about why these cards, these short prints like this, are almost always off-centered. What happened that made them that way? But we'll talk about that. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.